Networking, I've used them for networking where I'll have them reach out to a couple different agents per week or other investors. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ryan Corcoran. I'm an entrepreneur and real estate investor. I created this YouTube channel completely free to give as much education and information as I can to you to help you become financially free using real estate investing. Today we're going to talk about how to use virtual assistants in your real estate investing company. Now, a lot of people think, like, why would you need VAs for a real estate investment company? You know, as an agent, you can see how it'd be pretty useful in other businesses, where there's a lot of sales and customer service. Sure, definitely need it for those. However, super important in real estate investing companies as well. We're going to dive into how I use virtual assistants, how they've benefited me, and hopefully it'll give you some tips on how you can move forward and utilize virtual assistants as well. Number one, where do you find a virtual assistant? So you can go on Upwork, you can go on Fiverr, which are free websites, and you can post a job title. And from there, you can have VAs that will apply, or you can directly outsource a VA that lists their resume up on one of those two sites. Second option is there's companies called, a bunch of companies actually, one of them Sphere Rocket, there's several more of them. You pay like a couple $1,000s up front. They go and vet a VA for you. They make sure the VA is trained in the field that you're looking for. Then they set up an interview with them, and then it's on you to train them to do the job. And so both work great. I know a lot of people who have used companies like Sphere Rocket to do this, and they've had a lot of success with their VAs. I personally have used Fiverr and Upwork. Upwork, not so much Fiverr for a full-time VA. Fiverr is more of little tasks. Upwork is where I found both of my VAs. And so, again, I chose to do it that route because I was confident in that I can pick a VA and trust a VA and train a VA and do everything on my own without paying somebody to do that for me. However, if I were to find a VA now and I wanted to continue to scale from here, I would definitely use that. But when I was starting out, I did not opt to pay for a Sphere Rocket system or something like that. So what do VAs do for me in my real estate investing company? First and foremost, I buy off-market real estate, right? I have a hidden coach. It's called Hidden Deals Coaching. It's a coaching program to help people find off-market deals. But really what I use VAs for is to source a lot of those off-market deals, right? And so they can pull direct mail lists. They can go on ListSource, PropStream, CoStar. They can log in, build all these lists. They can buff the list. They can scrub the list. They can then have them skip trace, right? And so from there, you have a full encrypted, pretty accurate list that's already screened with numbers, emails, addresses, everything you could need to market. And so I heavily rely on my VA to do that. And from there, I can then push it to a company who will send them for me. And then second task is having inbound leads, right? So when a warm lead calls, you can have the virtual assistant be there to pick up the phone, jot it down, input everything into a CRM, which is job number 3, right? So number 1, work on the sales and marketing side of it, generating leads. Number 2, inbound calls. And number 3, CRM data, right? Data input, data analysis, basically organizing your CRM to make sure that it is at optimal peak performance and everything is super accurate, right? So there's the 3 things that I've used them for so far. The fourth one, cold calling. I've found a lot of success using virtual assistants for cold calling. And what I mean by that is after they pull that list, like we talked about in the first task, they then take that, they have it skip trace, now they have these numbers, and you pay for a dialer, and the VA can sit there and crank out 500 to 1,000 calls a day. And again, every warm lead gets inputted into the CRM. So as you can see, my entire lead generating aspect is pretty much run by VAs. The next thing I want to talk about is social media. Now, I just hired a virtual assistant to start on my social media, so it hasn't gotten there yet, but I'm going to see how that goes. So that'll be the 5th thing that I'm having VAs do. And the last thing is basically all admin stuff. And what I mean by that is on a holiday or Christmas, they're the ones sending holiday cards, holiday emails, networking. I've used them for networking, where I'll have them reach out to a couple different agents per week or other investors, and get them into basically build a list of like the bigger agents and investors in the area, and then I'll put them on a drip campaign so I can continuously network with these people. Super helpful. And lastly, a really good tip. So if you're trying to get on podcasts or you're trying to build your social brand and your or a business name or anything like that, my virtual assistant literally went out and reached out to a bunch of podcasts and got me on a bunch of podcasts where I could then talk about my story, tell people, and from there I gained a ton of followers, met a ton of people from doing that. So nothing but high regards for virtual assistants. You really have to vet them out. You have to stay on top of them. It takes a lot of training. But if you get a good one, they are worth way more than the pay, because mine are in the Philippines, and for $5, $6, $7 an hour, they're providing $25 an hour tasks that somebody would here in the United States. And so not only that, the most important thing here is you're providing somebody who lives in the Philippines or another country a good, stable job for the most part, a relatively high wage from where they are, and they get to work from home, right? Most of them have families, most of them are working double jobs. And so for me, I find it really important that I'm able to help these people and basically be a stable source of income. Not only are they my employees, but you have to look at them like, okay, these people live in the Philippines, they're not as privileged as us here, their wages aren't as higher, their standard of living is much, much lower. And so, $1 an hour raise, which isn't that much here, but when I started, my first virtual assistant, it was $6 an hour. When I increased her up to $7 an hour, or even if I give her like a $30 bonus or something, they're so grateful. And I'm not saying Americans aren't grateful, but such a small amount to us is a huge amount to them. Anyways, I hope this video was super helpful for you moving forward with virtual assistants. Again, high praise for all virtual assistants, and make sure you pick a good one and it can help you from there. Thanks for following on. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button, leave some comments, share the page. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Spread this channel to more people so more people can learn how to invest in real estate, how to do it really well, how to become financially free. Thank you, everybody.